Mass Effect, Mass Effect 2, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. These beloved space operas are some of the greatest sci-fi video game adventures of all time. They're also all heavily influenced by Drew Karpyshyn, who worked across all three of them and is the narrative director in charge of characters and story for Archetype Entertainment's upcoming third-person action RPG, Exodus. Exodus welcomes you to an alternate universe with an Earth under siege, rife with heroes and villains locked in power struggles that, in some ways, mirror our own. Karpyshyn joined Chad Robertson and Chris King to give us an inside look at the building blocks required to make a sprawling sci-fi universe come to life with characters we love in the modern era. A new enemy of humanity. Exodus thrusts you into the ongoing conflict between humanity and Celestials, powerful beings capable of destroying the world of Liara if left unchecked. You control struggling salvager Jun Aslan, the only person who can wield celestial technology to find a cure for the rot, a dangerous mechanized disease that's destroying essential technology required for humanity's survival and evolution. Much like Commander Shepard, your version of Jun Aslan can be customized according to your chosen gender, but Jun has plenty of work to live up to one of the most iconic protagonists ever. Aside from the celestial threat that looms large over Jun's mission, the other major antagonist in Exodus is time. As Jun, you'll embark on a quest to save humanity with a major caveat, the concept of time dilation. Time dilation means that you will make major decisions while exploring the universe, but time passes differently in different locations. While you may be gone in space for a few weeks, years may pass back home, sending the shockwaves of your choices over generations, altering thousands of lives. Games like KOTOR and Mass Effect honed in on companion-based influence that illustrated the consequences of your actions on a micro scale. We rarely see our choices alter the course of an entire society. As Jun, you'll be a champion of your people, influencing both humanity and your companions simultaneously. The combination of significant decisions and time dilation unleash a Pandora's box of potential permutations for your choices to impact the universe. King emphasizes Exodus's focus on your choices and the impact they have on Jun's reputation and the lives of others, embracing a play-your-way philosophy on both the narrative and combat sides. The team tried to give players tons of agency in everything they do. Our goal is to make players feel like co-authors of the experience. We don't want them to just feel like they're passengers along for the ride. Striking the right chord with meaningful decision-making will be the defining characteristic that could set Exodus apart or earn it criticism akin to Dragon Age the Veilguard's underwhelming choices. An evolving world and project. Jun may be a badass tech wielder with a powerful connection to an ancient dynasty, but you won't survive the rot or the fight against the Celestials without some help from people like CC Orlev, Jun's mentor, voiced by McConaughey. Karpyshyn shared how thrilled the team was to work with the actor and offered insight into the Hollywood star's growing and evolving role within the game. He's such an incredible talent, and we just kept adding more and more stuff for his character into the game. He became a bigger and bigger part of the story and the IP, and I think fans are going to be just blown away by what we created with him. It feels appropriate that for a game themed around humanity's evolution over time, the team behind the magic embraced the same concept within their own work, allowing Exodus the space to breathe and grow like a blossoming flower of technological fantasy. But will the ingredients come together in a harmonious dish, or are there too many cooks in the kitchen? That will be a major factor in determining if Exodus has the staying power to become a powerhouse new IP. The power of friendship. Speaking of mentors, one of the defining aspects of RPGs like Exodus is the cast of companions you meet and grow with along the journey. Exodus encourages you to build your ideal party from a variety of options, like Salt, an awakened octopus in a mech suit, CC Orlev, and another companion whose name and further details remain under wraps. Finding the right synergies between your teammates will be as essential to your success as selecting the right weaponry for the engagement. Robertson even describes them as your loadout, not just what you have on hand, but it's who you bring to battle with you. Outside of combat, you'll also have plenty of opportunities to chat up your companions, and you can romance almost everyone, except Salt. That broke my heart, and when you see them, it'll break yours too. One of the appeals of companions is the romances, Karpyshyn says. You do have to work for it a bit, but they can be pretty thirsty. When the man behind the creation of characters like Liara and Revan calls the companions thirsty, it's hard not to be excited about what might be in store. Even with the ever-present threat of humanity's annihilation, you still have time to quench your thirst with some spicy romantic antics.
Boss fights that make Saren blush. Aside from romances, nothing gets your heart pumping in a video game like an intense boss fight. Thankfully, boss fights will also be a major part of Exodus, and if the brief glimpse of a massive celestial grabbing Jun is any indication of the scale we can expect, then there's a lot to be hopeful for. King unveiled some of the philosophy behind the boss fights as grandiose and intricate encounters that build on established mechanics. Part of the thing with a boss fight is trying to make it feel like a spectacle. The scale and epicness of it is just crazy compared to everything else you faced. If there are lessons to be learned from cultural hits like Elden Ring, it's that epic boss encounters can define the tone and resonance of a game. Exodus's Celestials serve as the perfect enemies to elicit fear and awe. These encounters unfold in multiple phases, with each part teaching you the skills you'll need to overcome the boss's final stand. We've embraced the Nintendo philosophy, King says. Multiple phases to do introductions, to teach you the ropes, and by that final phase of the boss fight, it's kinda like a final exam where you have to use all the tools in your kit. Boss fights mirror the focus on step-by-step progression and evolution in Exodus. And right now, just like Jun, our biggest boss fight is against time itself. We'll be patiently awaiting the chance to meet Salt and learn from a sage like Matthew McConaughey when Exodus releases in early 2027.